All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 6-game slate here, joined as always with Chris, aka Chrissair DFS. How are you doing today? I think we have you muted, Chris. Not sure if he's with us. Chris, hello. Might have to send.
Hi. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Is something not working for you, Chris?
I don't hear you, so
Oh,
I don't hear you. I don't see you, so I don't know what's going on.
give me a second. Do you hear me now? Weird. My God, technical difficulties here. What about now? Do you hear me, Chris? Chris?
I just hear you through the YouTube. I don't hear you through the live stream.
Oh, you don't really? You don't hear me?
I mean, I don't hear you through Discord. That's the problem.
Oh, what do you want to do? You want to just roll with the YouTube audio? It's working here. I'm not sure what's going on. Give me a sec. Should be working. I think it's your Discord. Chris,
Okay, I think it's good now.
is it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
What was the problem?
I'm not sure.
Oh my, oh my lord. Is it? But it's good now, right? We're good. Good to go.
Yeah.
We've had some studio difficulties here the last few. Like, what is it? Probably, I don't know, like 5 of the last 7 days. It's been rough ever since the All-Star break.
Yeah, everything's going downhill.
Yeah, but we're good now, right? You can hear everything. You can't see. I know you can't see, but you can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into the slate, Chris. We have 6 games here. Let's get into the show. I just asked you how you were doing. You got to let everyone know what you're up to. So yeah.
I'm doing well. I'm excited for this slate. We have 6 games, like you said. I have some good games here to go over, so yeah, I'm excited.
Nice. Yeah, let's get into some success stuff. We didn't have this ready yesterday because we had the other technical difficulties. My PC computer blew up, but it's all good now, fixed up. So we can go through some success here. I don't think I opened up any of the success from yesterday, right? So we don't have any of
Nope.
it. So that was what was it, 19th, I think, some of it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I'll just scroll through it, but yeah, there's a lot of guys here. We have I got Tiger, had Nick, Snow, you, Nick again, HBK, Dakota, Hug. I think Hug had a big one actually. Yeah, he got first place or second place. I think he was close to first here. So shout out to the Hug, KJ here as well. Aiden here playing every slate, every sport. Got Rookie here. Then we have a nice one here from Alexei. Is this one was Coleman? Who's Coleman, Chris?
There's a bunch of Coleman, but that was NHL.
NHL Coleman. So yeah, I think he almost had first here. I think he did get first actually after the stat correction. But I think he also got second here in CBB, March Madness here. So that's awesome stuff. It's like, what is that? 750 to 37. So that's good. But yeah, the NHL one here, that was a big one for him. First place out of 3K people here. So, I mean, that's awesome. $100 into 2,100 almost. That's pretty crazy stuff. We have the lineup here. Chris, do you want to get into it a bit? Maybe just talk about, I don't know, like the stacking here. Anything at all?
Yeah, so it was like a 4-3-2 stack. I mean, yeah, you stack on the tool, it gives you the lineup, so it's always good stuff there.
Yeah, easy peasy. I always say this as well. Like, you don't need to know too much about the sport. Obviously, it does help, but even me, like, I don't know NHL that well. If I just have some basic strategy, like optimize a strategy for the sport, like know what stacks work, maybe know like how many offensive players to go against the goalies, just know what settings to use. That's pretty much as like all you need. But obviously, if you know more about the sport, it does help. But yeah, Then we have Nick here again. NBA showdown here. $5 to 30, 25. Just rounding up. Got Tiger here. First place. Was this split, Chris? Do you know?
I have no idea. I can't tell you.
All right, because you can't see as well.
Well, yeah, I can see now, but I don't know. We would have to open it up to see. I can't play in that contest, so I don't know what first place is.
Gotcha. Mid to high stakes guys can't play there. KJ here, 78, 201. Awesome stuff there. Got Dakota here, 66, 132. College basketball, NHL as well. And then one more, MMA. How did you do in MMA yesterday, Chris? How did the fights go?
I did all right. Not great, but I mean, I ended up splitting first in FanDuel. But yeah, it was all right. I wish I could have gotten a better score. I had a team that was like 4 points away from the first place split. That was, I think, duped twice. So would have been a much better win if that team ended up going ahead, but it didn't. But I mean, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, we have Aiden here again. Every sport, every slate, every single day. And yeah, solid results like always here from him. Just a lot of slates here. Like, I don't know how he does it. It's a lot of work to manage all these slates, all these sports. I was talking to you the other day. You were saying just managing like 2 different sports is kind of a lot with all the late news. So I don't know how Aiden does like every slate and every sport. But yeah, he even has soccer here as well. So good to see that. But yeah, I mean, we have all the slates here, all the sports in our tool, so helps a bit. So it makes it a bit easier for sure. Then we have you here. This is your NBA main slate, and then your MMA here that we're just talking about. I guess we can open up the contest. Let me open that up, but yeah, let's take a look at that one. Yeah, let's hear your thoughts, Chris, on your lineup here.
Yeah, so this team was pretty obvious to me. It was a pretty big train here. I think there was another team. I think it got 330 something. That was like the other train. It had Shake Milton. This one obviously didn't. This one had Thibault instead. But yeah, it was pretty obvious here. I think a lot of people had this team. You could see we got 12th place. I think there was like a 60-way tie with this team. So, I mean, it got the job done. So that was good. Bunch of good guys here, good performing plays. Kawhi kind of didn't do too well, but that game blew out. So that happens. But yeah, overall, pretty solid here, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, if you guys got injured in that game as well, I'm not sure if that made a difference with the blowout or not. But yeah, do you want to go over some other guys here, Chris?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, a lot of people landed on this team. So, yeah, so same team here.
Oh, wow, you are right. A lot of guys do have this one. Jeez. Where's the DK train? Or not DK, RG.
I'm not sure. I think it was the same one that we had here. Yeah, then there was this team, 330. I think it was somewhere here. Maybe not.
331?
I guess there wasn't another train, so I guess this was the only train. But there was another team I was considering without Kawhi that got me to Shake Milton. I think that team. It was definitely not this team with Draymond.
This one?
No, not this one. I think it was 334.
This one?
Yeah, this one without the without the same small forward. So this one had Middleton and Keldon, and it had Shake Milton instead of Jordan Poole. Obviously, Jordan Poole way overperformed here, so that was pretty helpful. But at the same time, Kawhi underperformed. So, I mean, this was my main decision yesterday between these two teams. Luckily, landed on the better team here.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the success then. Yeah, this is your MMA one here. Do you want to talk about it a bit, Chris?
I mean, there's not much to talk about. We should probably go over DK though. I sent you that as well.
Don't have a DK link, Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me see. Now you do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Here it is opened up.
Oh, wrong one. Let me. Yeah, I guess you can just go over some other ones. I'll get you a new link here.
Go over some other success.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were we? Yeah, you don't want to get into this one, but you were saying this one was close to first and not splitting it?
Oh no, this one was first, but it was just split a lot of ways. I said I had another team at like 729 that was only duped twice. So if that one won, would have won a lot more.
What was first place, like if it's not split in this contest?
10K.
Ooh, that would have been nice. You had the 10K one, was it like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here's your DK one. So I don't think, yeah, you didn't cash here, but yeah, let's get into it. What happened here?
Yeah. So I was right off of the cash line here. Had some guys that underperformed. Had Dwight Howard here who only got 27, didn't play too many minutes. Korkmaz was also a big guy here that sucked for me, 20%. Not sure what he got. Can you scroll down a little? Yeah, so he got 10 points. I think Danny Green there was he was $100 more. I think I could have gotten up to him. He went off. Korkmaz kind of sucked. Didn't play too many minutes. So that was the main thing here on DK. Like I like the rest of the lineup. Everyone was pretty chalky. Paul George did well for me at 40%. He was my second lowest owned guy. But yeah, Korkmaz here was the one that kind of sunk this lineup.
Yeah. Do you want to go over any other ones or no?
Yeah, sure.
Papa Gates? Got Papa Gates, got Hoop.
Yeah, Hoop, not Papa Gates.
Okay, here's Hoops. He got ninth here, so 298.
Yeah, so I think so Tobias Harris here at 40% went for 60. That was kind of a pivot off of my team. Wasn't really considering him too much on DK, but obviously he was a great play without Simmons. But yeah, he went for 60 here at 40%. So that was huge. Kind of wish I got up to him, but unfortunately I didn't. And then Thibault here, Hoop had Thibault at 10%, so that was a good play there. 3.7K, he got the start. But yeah, I think it was just a 2v2, like Paul George and Furkan Korkmaz versus Tobias Harris and Matisse Thibault. I mean, in hindsight, this team with Harris and Thibault makes a lot more sense. So kind of wish I landed here. Better exposure to this Philly team who was going up against the Kings.
Wait, so in hindsight, it makes more sense. Why does it make more sense in hindsight? Not why didn't it make more sense at the time when you were deciding?
Okay, I didn't see this team.
Oh, got it. So if you saw this team, you probably would have went with it.
I mean, I have no idea. I can't say that, but just looking back, I think that this team was the right decision. Mine was the wrong decision.
Got it. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have Nick here, NBA Showdown. I think he's in the chat here. What's up, Nick? Also have Royal King here in the chat. College basketball, got that going on. MMA, got that going on. Solid stuff. NHL as well. Good to see all that stuff. And then this is a pretty big one here, Tiger Blood. $1,200 here. From how much is the Minimax? The 50 cent one on DK?
Yeah, I actually didn't see this. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I think it's 50 cents.
Yeah, so 75 bucks, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy there.
Yeah, 75 bucks into 1,200. So that's 75, assuming he did max entry. Maybe he did less, but even if it's max, 75 bucks into 1,200, that's awesome stuff. Huh?
I mean, that's also assuming that only one of his teams won. So, I mean, he probably had more than 1,200, probably 1,300 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say these college projections that we've worked on have been really, really nice all season long. It's kind of crazy. Really impressive. Yeah, I mean that's awesome. They've been so sharp. They've been doing well since the start of the season. Before NBA, I was playing a lot of college basketball using them, and it was like I shipped a few of them. But the only thing is, like the contests I join, they're not that big. Usually, there's not too many contests for college basketball, but there's probably some good ones now. So I probably should play some for the rest of March. But yeah, that's awesome to see. But yeah, let's get into the slate here, Chris. 6 games, 12 teams to pick from. What's your favorite news so far here on this Sunday slate?
I don't know if I have like favorite news. Obviously, we have LeBron James out, so we have a bunch of Lakers here who are interesting. We have the Nets going up against the Wizards, so I like paying up for guys like Harden. Have him on the cover, so he's my favorite spend up. Like Luka a lot as well on both sites, going up against Portland again. Third time in a row going up against Portland, I think. So is it? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wrong. Second time in a row going up against Portland. So I like that matchup a lot. So those are some of my favorite spend ups. And favorite value comes from the Lakers.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. First game here, Chicago, Detroit. Let's go over Chicago first. We have Devin Dotson out, Chandler Hutchinson out, and Garrett Temple out. Projected starters, Tom Satoransky, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Thaddeus Young, and Lauri Markkanen. Any interest, Chris, in the Bulls?
Yeah, I have some interest here, particularly on DraftKings. Just where we have like Sato there, who's a little bit interesting for 4-5 as sort of a last piece. He's 4-4 on FanDuel, but he's a point guard there. Point guard is always loaded on FanDuel. You can only pick 2. So you can't really play these guys who are thinner on FanDuel. But he's an all right play on DraftKings for 4.5K. The guy I really like on DK is Lauri Markkanen here for 5.5 on DraftKings. Just really like the price tag here. Kind of fits the builds. Kind of land in that 5.5K range as a last piece. So he's my favorite guy here.
Okay. Nick in the chat saying NBA early slate is on fire. Wonder what it is. Did you play it, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. There's still some people behind us with Alexander Walker, he got the late start for Lonzo. Couldn't swap onto him. Just didn't have any roster. Didn't have any moves available to swap onto him. So that's the only thing to worry about right now.
How's it doing though?
It's good right now, but I mean, it's far from over.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, we have the Pistons to go over. Detroit side, Wayne Ellington is out, Hamidou Diallo out, and Rodney McGruder out. Projected starters, DeLon Wright, Frank Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Mason Plumlee. Any interest here, Chris? Pistons facing the Bulls. Usually like to target the Bulls, but it's the Pistons. Anyone there that could be good today?
Yeah, I like some of these guys, especially Sadiq Bey. He's been playing really well recently. He's only 4.3K on FanDuel. Last game he got 35 fantasy points. The game before that he went for 50. He's been starting recently in the past month or so. I forget who went out for him to start, but yeah, he's been starting there. His price tag has dropped on FanDuel for some reason. It was around 5K before. Now he's around 4.3. So I think he's one of my favorite plays there. On DraftKings, he's 5.6, so not really in play for me over on DK. And then the other guy I have interest in is Josh Jackson. He's 5.2 on DK, FanDuel 4.8. So another play that's better priced on FanDuel. I like him a lot in tournaments on FanDuel. Just love his upside here. Obviously, McGruder's still out. Ellington is still out. So I like Josh Jackson on FanDuel in tournaments. But in cash games, the main guy here is going to be Sadiq Bey.
Okay. Let's jump into the next game. Washington Wizards, Brooklyn Nets. Let's go over Washington first. I don't see anything for them. So just their starters, projected starters. We have Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Garrison Matthews, Rui Hachimura, and Alex Len. Anybody here on the Wizards side, Chris, that we're interested in today?
Sort of. So, I mean, it's a really good game environment here. It's the highest over-under I think I've seen all season at 248. That's 20 points higher than the second best game, 30 points higher than the third best game. So it's the clear favorite game to target here. The Wizards side doesn't intrigue me as much as the Nets side with Harden, but I mean, there's still some interest here. I do like Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal a lot, obviously. Only problem is Westbrook is pretty expensive, 11-1 on FanDuel, 10-7 on DK, so it's a little hard to get to him. Brad Beal is cheaper. I think he's more in play on DK, where he's 9.3K. Definitely don't mind that in cash games. Both of these guys are viable in tournaments, obviously, on both sites, just because the matchup is so good here. Only concern would be a blowout, but I think the Wizards can keep this game close enough. So I like both of them. And then the other guy I'll mention here is Rui Hachimura. He's 5'8 on DK, which isn't great, but on FanDuel he's 4.9K. He's been playing a ton of minutes in his last 4, ever since I think the coach called him out. Someone said that in the chat a few days ago. But yeah, he's been playing a ton of minutes, 38 minutes 4 games ago, 36 3 games ago, 38 2 games ago, and then 39 last game. So his minutes are definitely a lot safer now than they were earlier in the year. Bertans is out, so that helps Hachimura's minutes. But yeah, I like him a lot on FanDuel for 4.9.
Yeah. Seems like an interesting play. I think even with the last 4 performances here and the increased minutes, his salary over on FanDuel is more or less the same. So that's pretty interesting. So the other half of this game, Nets guys here, we have Jeff Green in for them, Blake Griffin in. Projected starters, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Jeff Green, and DeAndre Jordan. Let's get into the Nets guys. Chris, who do you like here today?
Yeah, so I mean, it's with the Nets, it's always the 2 main guys here ever since KD went out. So it's going to be Harden and Kyrie here for me. So, I mean, my favorite guy here is obviously James Harden. He just does everything for them. He had a down game last time out, but that's not going to concern me. He's still putting up huge numbers. Minutes are there. He got into a little bit of foul trouble last game. Didn't matter too much, but he just wasn't playing well. That happens once in a while, but I'm not concerned at all. I love James Harden here. He's my favorite spend up on the slate, both formats, both sites. Just, I think he's too cheap here. They're implied to score 128 points, which is just ridiculous. So he's my favorite guy here. And then Kyrie as well. I like him a lot. 9-1 on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's a little more expensive. I think he's sitting at 9.5. So it's a little hard to play him alongside James Harden. But I do think he's a really good tournament option. Good pivot if you want to pivot off of Harden. But yeah, Harden is the main guy here for me.
Okay. I have some chat here. Brian says DK 274. I think it cashes easily. Nick says CBB question, Chris. Maybe you know Santos Silva or Sherman.
Can't say I've heard of either of those guys. If you give me the teams they're on, I can probably help better.
Okay. Let's load up the next game. We have Toronto against who do we have against Cleveland. So let's go over Cleveland side first. Sorry, Toronto side first. I don't think we have anyone out for them that I see here. So I think everyone is back from the health and safety protocol. Projected starters: Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, and Pascal Siakam. Thoughts here, Chris, on the Raptors with all their guys? I think all their main guys are back here. So what do you think of the Raptors here? Any price tags that are good? Anything interesting at all?
No, I have no interest in the Raptors here tonight. Bad matchup. They're healthy. So, yeah, nothing here for me.
Yeah, I'm probably with you there. Cavs side, we have a bit of news. So we have Taurean Prince out for them. Drummond still out. Trade deadline is coming up soon. So I wonder what's going to happen there or what's going to happen with him. You mentioned maybe a buyout or something, but I don't know when that deadline is. We also have Kevin Love out, JaVale McGee questionable, and Dellavedova also questionable. Projected starters, we have Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Isaiah Okoro, Larry Nance Jr., and Jarrett Allen. Anybody there, Chris, that you like here?
Yeah, so like you said, we don't have, or McGee is questionable right now. He's not out, right?
Yeah, questionable tag.
Yeah, so that makes me like Jarrett Allen a lot. His price tag went down on FanDuel for some odd reason, 6.3K. Even if McGee ends up playing, it's still a really good price tag here for Jarrett Allen. So he's one of my priorities on FanDuel at that low price. I like him a lot in cash games and tournaments as well. We've seen the upside with him. I like the matchup against Toronto as well. So yeah, I like Jarrett Allen here in FanDuel specifically in cash games. And then outside of him, don't really want to play Sexton. He's a little too expensive for me. Same thing for Garland. Don't love those plays here. But I think I have some interest in Larry Nance again as well. He's 5.3 on FanDuel. Um, DraftKings, he's 5.8K. He's been playing a lot of minutes. So and he's a pretty good play. I think he's more in play on FanDuel just because of the lower price. I'm currently not on him. I think I have Hachimura and Sadiq Bey in my lineup at small forward right now. I think those two guys are a little cheaper, and I'm just prioritizing the cheaper price tags there. So if you land on Nance as a last piece, no problems with that. I like him in tournaments, just because he does a little bit of everything. I'll like him more if McGee ends up being ruled out, just because he'll end up playing the backup 5 minutes, so he'll have a higher minutes floor if McGee ends up being ruled out as well. But even if he's in, I do have some interest in Nance. But like I said, the main guy here is going to be Jarrett Allen on FanDuel for 6.3K.
Okay. Nick, on his question, Chris, the two teams, it's Texas Tech or West Virginia.
Texas Tech or West Virginia. What were the names of the guys?
Santos Silva or Sherman.
Let me see here. Santos Silva or Sherman. Let's see. Yeah, I'll say Sherman. So I was just looking at the player props. Sherman's are slightly better, so I'll say Taz. I think that's his name, Taz Sherman.
Okay. Next game up, we have Philadelphia 76ers against the New York Knicks. Philadelphia side, we have Joel Embiid out, Seth Curry out, and then Ben Simmons questionable tag. I thought he was out, but questionable tag for him. I guess he was out yesterday, my bad there. But yeah, projected starters, Ben Simmons, Danny Green, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, and Tony Bradley. Any interest here, Chris, on the 76ers? No Embiid, Simmons potentially back here, but still questionable. Is that something we have to watch leading up to the slate?
Yeah, so this news here just entirely depends on if Simmons plays or not. So, I mean, if he's in, it's a tough matchup here against the Knicks. Only implied to score 106, so I don't know if I can play any of these guys, but if he's out, then we could play like Harris again. Shake Milton will be in play. Thybulle if he ends up starting for minimum price. Yeah, so a lot of this just depends on the news that we'll get. As of now, I'm not too interested in these guys. Like, you can play Simmons in tournaments, I guess. On FanDuel, he's 8.5K, so I don't hate that price tag. But yeah, I just want to wait for the news. Like, I don't want to play these guys with if Simmons is in. It's just not a great matchup.
Okay. Let's go over the Knicks then. We have Austin Rivers out for them, Derrick Rose out, Emmanuel Quickley, Alfred Payton, and Mitchell Robinson, all questionable tags. So 3 questionable tags is pretty interesting. Projected starters, Alf Payton, RJ Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, and Mitch Robinson. I guess this is probably another one of those teams where we're going to have to wait for the news before we kind of make our picks here. But is it kind of hard to say now with all 3 of those guys being questionable, Chris?
So, I mean, sort of. I guess if they're out, we'll have some interest in these guards again, like Alec Burks, RJ Barrett, maybe Julius Randle as well. If they're in, we don't have any interest just because, I mean, this is the lowest implied team total on the slate. I mean, lowest implied game total on the slate at 213. Pretty slow-paced game. Like, if these guys are in, I have no interest here. And I assume they're going to be in, so no interest here for me.
Okay. Let's go into the next one. Dallas Mavericks here against the Portland Trail Blazers. So Dallas side first, we have Dorian Finney-Smith back in for them. Tyrell Terry out, Willie Cauley-Stein out, and James Johnson also out. Projected starters, Luka Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleba, and Kristaps Porzingis. This seems like an interesting game here. You said is it the second? You thought it was the third back-to-back against the same team here, same game. But it's the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so who do you like here?
So, I mean, we saw this same game I think, a few days ago. So on the Dallas side, it's always going to start with Luka. I love the matchup against Portland as well. Always like targeting Portland. The games always seem to kind of go high scoring. Portland doesn't play too much defense. Like, they don't double stars or anything like that. So I always like kind of see big games against Portland. So I love Luka in this spot. Both sites, I think he's going to be spend up for me alongside James Harden. He's 11K on DK, FanDuel 10.8. So the price tag has gone up a little bit. But I mean, I just love this spot too much to pass up for him. So I'm going to play him in both formats, most likely on both sites as well. Next up, Kristaps Porzingis. He's pretty interesting here as well in this matchup. 7-7 on DK, 7-7 on FanDuel as well. Saw him have that kind of bad game last time against the Blazers. Played 33 minutes, got like 26 fantasy points. So I mean, that was pretty disappointing to see, but I do like the matchup here a lot, like I said. So I have no problems playing Kristaps Porzingis here. Currently have him in my FanDuel lineup for 7-7. And then last guy I'll mention here is Maxi Kleber, specific on FanDuel, 3.8K over there. Dorian Finney-Smith is back today, so I don't love that for Kleber, but I think the price tag is cheap enough that he kind of works as a value guy here, going up against the Blazers. So I like Maxi Kleber a lot for value on FanDuel.
Okay, Portland side, we just have a note here for Nurkic out, expected to be back sometime the end of this month, so that should be interesting. But for now, that's the only news there. Projected starters: Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Derek Jones Jr., Robert Covington, and Enes Kanter. Anyone here on the Blazers that we're interested in, Chris?
Not really. So I mean, CJ's back now, as we all know, so we're not too interested in Dame, especially not today where we have James Harden and Luka Doncic as spend ups. So I mean, if you want to maybe pivot off of one of those guys, maybe pivot off of Harden, but I mean that's a little too risky for me. I probably couldn't do that. So yeah, if you want to, you can pivot to Dame. Like I said, not something I would do. CJ is too expensive now. Cantor, don't love him in this role with CJ back. Less touches on offense. He's pretty much limited to offensive rebounds and putbacks. So I don't love that. So yeah, not too much here for me on the Blazers side.
Okay, let's jump into the last game here of the slate. LA Lakers against the Phoenix Suns. LA side, we have Marc Gasol, questionable tag. Projected starters: Dennis Schroeder, Caldwell Pope, Kyle Kuzma, Markieff Morris, and Marc Gasol. No LeBron James, had that high ankle sprain last game out, probably out for a few weeks, Chris. Not sure about that, but definitely out today. Who do we like here on the Lakers? Heard some talks about Kuzma. I know we used to like targeting Kuzma if one of AD or LeBron were out before at the start of the season. But yeah, with the pricing that we have here today, Chris, what are your thoughts on the Lakers?
Yeah, so he's kind of expensive. I don't love this matchup against the Suns. I always say that it's one of my least favorite matchups. They play really well defensively. They play slow. So the Lakers here are only implied to score 103 points. So we'll try to take advantage of pricing wherever we can. So I guess I'll start on FanDuel with Dennis Schroeder for 6.1K. On DraftKings, he's 6.9K. So not really in play there, but I mean, I love this price tag on FanDuel. He's going to be the main ball handler here, I think. Going to initiate the offense for the Lakers without LeBron. So I like this price tag for Schroeder on FanDuel at 6.1. Taylor Horton-Tucker is another guy that's interesting. He's 4K on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 4.2K. So I like that. I like that price tag a lot. I think he's definitely in play. I have him as a core play on DraftKings. FanDuel, it's a little bit more of a decision just because he's shooting guard. Yeah, it kind of changes the construction if you pay down there. So not sure if I'm going to land on Horton-Tucker on FanDuel, but I love him on DraftKings. Next up, we could talk about some of these other value plays. So Markieff Morris, I think he's interesting. 3.9 on DraftKings. Probably expect him to start here. He's been starting the last, month or so. Now he's going to have more usage without LeBron James. Should play at least 28 minutes here. So I really like the price tag on DK for 3.9K. And then he's 3.9 on FanDuel as well. Just a little harder to fit him. Like, I'd rather play Maxi Kleber. He's 3.8 there on FanDuel. So, yeah, I like Kleba more than Markieff Morris here. And then next up, we could talk about Montrezl Harrell. He's 6'5" on DraftKings, 7K on FanDuel. I was saying that I like Jarrett Allen a lot, center on FanDuel, so I'm not too interested in Harrell in cash games, especially on FanDuel. I do think he's a really good tournament option here on FanDuel, but I think on DraftKings we can play him in cash games for sure. 6.5K, super cheap price tag. Probably don't expect him to start, obviously. He hasn't started many games. I think he's only started one all season. So we don't expect him to start here, but I do like the role that we expect him to have here. So I like Harrell on DK a lot. And then Kuzma, like I said, I think he's probably a little bit too expensive for me, especially on DK. On FanDuel, we can play him 5.9K. Then you probably have to spend down. You probably can't get Luka if you do that. I kind of prefer getting double studs today. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. I think we do have to remove LeBron James, Chris. We do have a projection here for him right now.
Okay.
But yeah, Phoenix side, we have Cameron Johnson questionable, Torrey Craig also questionable. Projected starters: Chris Paul, Devin Booker. What is this? Michael. How do you say his name, Chris?
Mikal Bridges.
Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. Any interest here, Chris, on the Suns side?
No, I have no interest here. Like, they're pretty healthy. Cam Johnson's probably going to be back today, so yeah, I have no interest here.
Okay, it's pretty quick there. Then let's get into the three key plays here for the slate. So we got the overall play of the day, value play, and then the tournament play of the day. I think we had him at 0 just now, LeBron, but then now he's back up, Chris. I'm not sure. We'll check that after, I guess.
Sure.
Do you have him at 0? Let me refresh. Let's see. Yeah, I have him at 22 now.
I'll fix that.
And 23 on DK, but yeah. I guess we can get into the first one, Chris. Overall play of the day on FanDuel, cash tournaments. Your favorite play here, safest play in your eyes as well. Who's that guy there?
It's going to be James Harden for me on both sites. Just really like the matchup here. Price is good, so I love everything about this spot for James Harden.
Okay, and then value play, who do you have?
On FanDuel here, I'll go with Sadiq Bey at small forward for 4-3.
How do you spell his name? There we go. Okay, I think LeBron is now 0, so good job, Chris. Thanks for that. Tournament play on FanDuel, who do you have?
So I'll go with someone on the other side of this high total game. I'll go with Bradley Beal here on FanDuel for 9.6K. I don't think many people are going to be on him. We've seen him have big games in the past. I think this is a game where he could go for 45, 50 real-life points, 60, 70 fantasy points maybe. So I like that upside a lot. So I'll say Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I like that one. I can definitely see that against the Nets. Let's do the same thing here on DK. So I know your overall play of the day here, all formats, favorite, safest plays, Harden. Value play on DK, though. Who's that guy?
Value play here, I'll go with Talen Horton-Tucker for 4.2K. You can fit him in more positions here on DraftKings. That's why it's easier to get him. We've seen him kind of take over the high usage role when LeBron has been out in the past. So, yeah, I like THT here a lot.
Okay. And then tournament play of the day, you had Beal on FanDuel. Are you having Beal as well here on DK?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it consistent. I'll go with Bradley Beal here as well.
Okay. Looks like LeBron is now 0, so that's good to see. Let's go over the core here. Get into some cash lineup construction thoughts. Let's lock in your 3 guys. Hit build. So your 3 locks here on FanDuel: Harden, Sadiq Bey, Jarrett Allen. You want to touch on those a bit before we go over the lineups, Chris?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone that I just touched on Harden with the favorite play, and then touched on Sadiq Bey with the value play. Jarrett Allen, was talking about him a lot as well. 6.3K, they priced him down. We get the upside if JaVale McGee ends up being ruled out. Even if he's in, I like this price tag a lot in cash games. So yeah, I love Jarrett Allen here. And then we can take a look at these first 2 lineups. So let's see here. So wait, who do I have locked? Sorry.
You have 3 guys: Allen, Sadiq Bey, and Harden.
Let me see here. Could you hit build again?
Yep. These are still the top 2.
Okay. Could we unlock Sadiq Bey for a second? I just want to compare these two teams. I currently have Sadiq Bey, but yeah. Do you hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
Some construction outside, but yeah. Let's look at these first two. So we unlocked Sadiq Bey. Now we have this team, the second team here. So let's take a look at that one instead.
What kind of construction? Is it like on your house or house next door?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, kind of loud. Yeah, I'm highlighting the differences here because probably a little bit of a delay for you if you're on YouTube, right?
Yeah, so I think, so we have Luka here, 10-8. Talked about him a lot. I like pairing him with Harden as 2 spend-ups. And then we have Maxi Kleba, 3-8, like him as value. Jarrett Allen, 6-3, like him a lot as well. So we have, a 5v5 here.
Yeah.
Schroeder, Jackson, Rui, Bey, Porzingis versus Kyrie, THT, Nance, Porter, Kuzma. I mean, it's kind of tough here. Like, so I'll go over the guys I like in the first one. So I like Schroeder a lot. I like Hachimura a lot. 4-9 in this giant game total. I like Sadiq Bey a lot. Have him in my core for 4.3K. Kristaps, don't love him here. Kind of the only guy that makes me want to play the second team. Second team, we get Kyrie, who's in a great spot here. Love that play. Love THT as well. Nance, I'm fine with him. I'll like the second team more if we get JaVale McGee out. Just because Nance will get that boost, more of a boost. And then Otto Porter, I don't love him here. 3.5K, so I guess it's fine for the minimum. Kuzma, decent play. So yeah, I think I like the first team for now, and then if we get news that JaVale McGee is out, I'll like the second team.
Okay. Layton's saying since Damian Jones did not get re-signed for the message retracted. Was he not signed or was he?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was asking about Harrell if he's in play, but then he removed the message. So maybe he's saving that sneaky play.
Harrell's more in play for me on DraftKings, where he's a little cheaper, and we have Jarrett Allen here for 6-3 on FanDuel. So I like Harrell more on DK.
Okay. Let's see. So you got 4 locks here on DK. You have Harden, Caruso, THT, and Markieff Morris. Let's hit build, see what we get. Do you want to touch on those 4 cores quickly, Chris?
Yeah, so we get Harden here, my favorite spend up, and then we have these 3 Lakers who are underpriced. Not sure if I mentioned Caruso too much, but he's 3-3 here on DraftKings. Very good price. Just opens up everything for us. Lets us get Harden and Luka together. And then THT and Morris, also very cheap. So I like those 2 guys. I mean, those 3 value plays on the Lakers a lot. And then we can take a look at these first 2 lineups. So pretty similar construction. We have this Lakers value. We have the 2 spend ups in Luka and Harden. So double studs. I think the difference here is a 2v2 or something. Let's see here. Yeah, so we have Sato and Harrell versus Robin Lopez and Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah, so same sort of thing. Like I mentioned on FanDuel, I don't love playing Kristaps Porzingis, but he's fine there. Really good matchup. So I don't mind paying 7-7 for him. Never have a problem playing anyone against the Blazers. And then Robin Lopez here is the guy that concerns me. I think that's probably a little bit too thin of a play. So that kind of makes me lean the first one. Gets us Montrezl Harrell without LeBron. So he'll have a higher usage role there. Sato, 4.5K. He's been playing pretty well. Has a decent floor himself. So yeah, I like this first one more for sure.
Okay. Lynn's asking, do you like Dennis Schroeder over DeLon Wright for the same price, Chris?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then we have a question from Real King. He wants us to go over the single game quickly. Which one? The last one probably is the biggest, right? Lakers one?
Yeah, let's go to FanDuel though.
Oh, yeah, we can't do DK. I mean, we could. We do have DK, by the way, but I think it's harder to be compliant there. I guess since I'm not sure what to say, but yeah, I think FanDuel's the safer bet here. Let's hit Bill. Let's just do 150 so I can see what we have. But yeah, here we go. So it's a lot of, well, actually we got Devin Booker at the top, Chris Paul, Harrell as well. So we have a few different guys here at the top. All those project for 223, so all very, very close. Yeah, which ones do you like here, Chris? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I have no idea. I always talk about the Suns. It could be any of them on any night. It could be Paul, could be Booker, could be Ayton. So I have no idea here. This is definitely a slate that I would stay away from personally. Yeah, like the Lakers guys here are pretty obvious in Harrell, Schroeder, and THT. But the Suns guys, I just have no idea. I mean, I like the first lineup here, I guess, with Booker at MVP, but I mean, who knows? So yeah, this is one that I'm going to stay away from.
Let's see what the breakdown is. Let's see what the most popular plays are here. Gotta wait for 150, but let's see.
World King says, is Simmons still questionable? Yes, Ben Simmons is still questionable.
Let's see, MVP. So Booker's the favorite overall MVP. Harrell second, tied with Paul pretty much, and then Schroeder 7.3%. So that would be a sneaky one. Yeah, I mean, do you look at any of this stuff, Chris? If you were to play this single game slate, or not really?
I mean, yeah, I always look at it, but I mean, this, like I said, this is a slate I would stay away from. Never like playing the Suns, so I try to avoid those slates whenever I can.
Yeah, I feel like someone like DeAndre Ayton here, only 1.3% at the star position. I think also one of the thinnest ones here, 6% at the pro. I mean, he's got upside. Is he in an okay situation today, Chris, going up against the Lakers? Like, could we get lucky, see some sort of ceiling game here, or are the odds stacked against that today?
I mean, it all depends with minutes for him. Like, he hasn't seen over 30 minutes since February 26th, so almost a month. So, I mean, it's hard for me to play him there, but he does have the upside. Like, we've seen it last season. We've seen it early this season. If he plays 36 minutes, he could go for 50 on any night. So, just the minutes. They play like 12 deep. They have Kaminsky at center. They have Sarge at center. They run small ball sometimes. So, it's I don't know. It's hard to play Ayton, but he does make for a really good tournament play if you have that kind of risk tolerance.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one guy I would kind of look at. So I find that interesting. He's one of the lower guys here, just in the optimals. So could be an interesting one that could pay off if it goes your way, just because he's kind of low. Ownership is kind of low there. So World King says Simmons still quite. Oh, you got that one, right, Chris? Yeah, Layton says McGee is expected to play. I do see the tweet says probable Sunday. So does that change your thoughts on the DK builds that we went over, Chris, a bit, or not really?
No, it's more of a FanDuel thing, but like I was saying, don't have Nance anyways. So I mean, I like the non-Nance lineup more, and then like I said with Jarrett Allen, still like him a lot for 6.3K.
Yep. Okay. Anything else to go over, Chris, or should we wrap it up here?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Let's close it out then. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. As always, before you guys go, if you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Helps our channel grow, so we do appreciate that. And then if you're new here, you like the format that we do, if you found it helpful, be sure to subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell button and all, so you can stay up to date. We do the show here, same format every day, 2.5 hours before main slate, weekends, holidays, all that stuff, always, every single day. If there's NBA, there is a crunch time show, so be sure to subscribe. And then other than that, you can check us out at dfscrunch.com. I think the link is in the description of this video here as well. You can try out our optimizer, use our projections that we've been using here throughout the show. So dfscrunch.com, place to go. Scroll down and then create your account. If you're new, you get 3 days for free. So absolutely free trial, no risk trial. Definitely try it out if you haven't. You have 72 hours from when you sign up, so 3 days before your build. So you're more than welcome to try it out for free, cancel before that third day, and you won't be charged at all. So I do encourage everyone who has not tried our tool to try out that trial, even if you have no intent on staying. Just try it out for free, see what it's all about, and just use it. It's really good. We have every single slate here for NBA. We have all the different slates here. So, I mean, there's a lot today here. What is it, like nine or 10 different slates for NBA today. DK, we have, what do we have? Probably the same 9 to 10. Then we have every other sport, main sport, FanDuel, DraftKings, all the slates there, soccer, college basketball, lots of stuff. So, NHL, UFC, we got everything. So, lots of stuff to keep you busy. So, try out the free trial if you haven't. And then I think that's it, guys. We'll be in the Discord like we always are. So if you have any questions, you're a member, be sure to get into the Discord. Come hang out there as well. And yeah, I think that's it, guys. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Good luck today and see you all then.